Hi and welcome to the advert for my 1988 Lotus Esprit Turbo. I'm doing this video to walk you around the car and hopefully give you a very clear picture as regards its condition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going around the body, and I'll show you all the bits and pieces around the body, the good and the bad, etc. Then I'll show you the engine and the interior. Then I'm going to do a cold start, so no choke, completely haven't started the car today, used it yesterday. So I'll show you that hopefully, fingers crossed, she will start straight up from cold. So going to go around the body first. So we'll start in the near side front corner. So the paintwork, I do think it has had a respray at some point, but the quality of the paint job is actually really good. It's probably hard to tell on the video, but all the colour is even across the car, so there's no weird different shades of red or anything like that. So when the car is not actually polished at the moment, it had a wash yesterday but hasn't been waxed or polished or anything, so what you see at the moment is sort of, it's not dressed or made to look good, it's just sort of as it is. And hopefully you can see that it shines nicely and it's in pretty good shape overall, but there are a few bits. So I'm going to start off with this corner here. Oh, the sunlight's not good, but there's a little scuff. Actually, that might polish out. There's a little sort of scuff along there. So moving down the sides, small chip just on the arch there. Passenger side's, to be fair, nice and tidy really. There's no real damage on it. There's a bit of crazing, well, not crazing actually, I'd say it's like micro blistering just on this flank here. And again, moving around the back, the grille that covers the exhaust is missing. I personally don't mind the look of that, but if you were super fussy about it being original, then you might want to get that grille replaced. And then on here, this is my fault, there's a bit of crazing on the rear bumper where I've reversed into something. And then again on that corner, you can't really tell unless you look at it closely, but I thought I'd go around and show everything. So again, driver's side is pretty good. There's chips on this leading edge. Oh, one thing to say actually is the window surround here is starting to go a little bit rusty. It's not horrendous, probably could be repaired, but it's just something to bear in mind. But yeah, other than that, it's nice and tidy on the body really. I did put on the advert that it's tired, which, to be fair, if it had a respray, it was a long time ago. I don't know that it has had a respray, to be honest, it might not have done. And the paintwork is good, but it's not sort of like show winning, so just bear that in mind. Wheels and tyres, it's got brand new Toyo Proxy T1R tyres all round, and the wheels are freshly wet sprayed to a really high standard. I went for this gold colour because I thought that the contrast was pretty cool against the red, plus there's a gold pinstripe here, so it just ties in nicely. But I've done a lot of work on this car since I've owned it. I've had it for about 18 months and everything's reseated, but I've just done a tremendous amount of work. I don't know really where to start. It's had a new radiator, all new coolant lines on the front. See if I can get a shot of the rad, because it's a beautiful radiator. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't. Let me see if I can get my phone in there a bit more. You can just see the top of it there, and then custom radiator hoses, 3 new high power fans, and anything that's been dodgy under the car at the front end has been seen to at the same time. So I've actually added some extra ground points on the chassis as well to help the electrics, because obviously on these older Esprits they're not brilliant. So yeah, talking you through what I have done on the car. So it's had New wheels and tyres, refurbished wheels. It's had a new clutch slave cylinder, a new braided clutch line, new radiator, all new pipes and everything at the front, new fans. Interior wise, I'll show you the interior as well. It's had new red seat belts because the old seat belts were not good. I've had the headlining replaced, so had it done in black with red stitching, which I think looks pretty cool. It did have a replacement speedo which was second hand, and there's a mileage discrepancy of about, I think it's about 7,000 miles out. I've got it written down exactly what the number is, but I took the old speedo out at 103 and it's on just under 97,000, but in the paperwork that's all sort of explained. And then I fitted a nice period Blaupunkt stereo, which has actually got an aux in, even though it's an 80s head unit, which is quite cool. Yeah, the headlining at the back's nice as well, the bulk headlining. I leave the engine cover off because I like to be able to see the engine in the rear view mirror. That's down to you whether or not you keep it on or leave it off. There's a bit of a sort of questions on the Lotus forums about whether or not it affects airflow and stuff like that, but to be honest, it's never caused me any problems and it's a cool look. I have got a brand new set of carpets which are in the exactly as per original by a Lotus carpet specialist that haven't been fitted yet, so that's a nice job for someone to do. Maybe if I get time I'll fit them. If you look here, this is a sample of the carpet, so if you look at the colour, how faded the ones fitted are, that's going to look amazing with those new carpets in there. But yeah, you can see that the seats are nice and tidy. The interior is actually really clean for an Esprit interior. It's not in bad condition at all. It doesn't really creak or rattle. There's no the leather on the dash is all good. It's not lifting or blistered like you see, or shrunken. Yeah, the main thing is get the carpets changed and it's going to look really cool. Again with the door cards. Door cards are in nice condition. Both the windows work. I have got the wind deflector as well that goes on here. That's in the garage. So, engine bay. So what have I done in the engine bay then? I'm going to climb in it and have a look. So, I've had the turbo plenum refinished and the two cam tower covers refinished, so they look really nice. More or less every single fuel, coolant and vac line has been replaced. New aluminium expansion tank. I fitted this clear fuel filter thing just so that if there's any sort of running issues in the future you can ascertain visually that there's fuel getting into the carbs. Carbs have been rebuilt and balanced with a genuine Delauto carb kit. That was done by a specialist because I'm not a carb expert. New aluminium fuel tank on that side. Before I bought the car it just had a new steel fuel tank on this side, so it's actually got two new fuel tanks. New distributor, new coil, the leads are new, the plugs are new, oil's fresh. It's got a genuine Lotus oil filter. I don't know if you can see the starter motor, but it's got a high torque starter that I fitted. New wastegate capsule, which is a genuine Garrett one, which was expensive. New thermostat, the water pump was rebuilt by P&M. The cam belt is a new cam belt. The struts are new. Fuel breather pipes are new. Battery is new. What else? All the coolant lines. They don't actually look new, but these are all new. So all of these pipes have all been replaced. I actually can't remember the amount of stuff that I've done, but it's had a new dipstick tube because the dipstick tube was rotten. so that's been replaced. What else? All the engine grounds have all been renewed. It's had a new, when I fitted the starter motor, I've fitted a new power feed to the starter motor from the battery. All the sensors have all been cleaned up and all the connections have been cleaned up. All the earths have been made good everywhere. It runs great. It runs really nicely. There's no flat spots. The boost is bang on where it should be. It's actually a really nicely driving Esprit, and it's at the stage now where I'd take it anywhere. Oh, it's also had a new clutch, flywheel skimmed, new pilot bearing, new throw out bearing. I've changed a load of other stuff around the clutch while I was in there, so things that are not accessible without the boot floor being up, and I've got lots of photographs of those actually if you wanted to see those. What else? Now, I'd have to go through the paperwork and see the receipts, but I've just done ridiculous amounts of work on it. So if you've got any questions about anything, you can always give me a call. Right then, so let's jump inside. Oh yeah, it's had a new horns, new washer pump for the windows. Can I zoom out? Try and zoom out. So you just hear the fuel pump. So the clutch at the moment, the choke is in. So there it goes then. So I'll give it a bit of a pump. So that's a completely cold start. You can see the temperature gauge here, and already it's on choke. Well, it's on I think the, whatever you call it, the throttle jack is engaged at the moment, but the revs will drop down when it's a bit warmer. But you can see that it's idling really smoothly. All the gauges are fine, so the alternator charging circuit is bang on. Oil pressure's good. Obviously the fuel gauge works. All the electrics work. The fan all works. The pop-ups are fine. Windows are good. What else can I really say? Yeah, so the story with this car is I bought it about 18 months ago. Let's have a walk around it. And it had been off the road for about 12 years, and it needed quite a lot of catch-up maintenance. It had just scraped through an MOT, which I think was probably a dodgy MOT, if I'm honest, because there were certain things that just blatantly hadn't worked for years. And I've just, over that time, just slowly gone over it and repaired all the niggly little faults, and obviously done the clutch, done the carbs, done all the big stuff, the cam belt. And now it's at the stage where it's actually a really nice to drive, really reliable car. Don't want to tempt fate, but I can't think of any outstanding work that this car needs. It's literally ready to go. So if you wanted to buy this car and drive it back to Scotland or France or somewhere, I would trust the car to get you there. Have a quick look down here. Let's see if we can see the radiator through here. Oh, you can just see the oil cooler. The private plate does come with the car. It has literally just been MOT'd and didn't have any advisories. I've got stacks and stacks of paperwork. Everything that I've done to the car I've kept receipts for, but before that it had a massive service history. So there's loads of paperwork with it. But yeah, I just want to find it a good home really, so if it's of interest, give us a shout and we can work something out. Alright, thanks for watching.